Hi guys, today we're going to deal a little bit with two-dimensional shapes and a little bit of their properties. So I'm going to go through some kind of the basic ones that you're going to see in this section and talk about things that are important about them. So first shape we're going to talk about that is two-dimensional is a square. So if I have a square, one of the things that people are really good about knowing is that it has 4 equal sides. Now the good thing is when you mark that, they usually do what's called a tick mark. So you see I've done a tick mark of 1 there. And I'm going to do the same tick mark on all 4 sides. That tick mark means that all the ones that match are happen to be equal. So this one would be one that would have 4 equal sides. Also, they have 4 right angles. So when we're talking about right angles, usually they'll do a little square in the corner to show that right angle. Right angles are also talked about as being 90-degree angles. So that kind of gives you an idea of how that one is set up. Okay, so now if I go to a rectangle, again, these are all, if they're 4-sided, we're talking about some kind of parallelogram. So remember, on these, they also have some parallel sides. So you can tell in this one how these 2 lines happen to be going in the same direction. They're parallel. And then these 2 are parallel. Okay, with a rectangle, we have opposite sides are equal. So that means these 2 sides would be the same length. So I did a tick mark of 1. Now this side would be a different length, but it would match with that one. So that tells you that these 2 sides happen to be the same length, and these 2. Okay, also this is one that has 4 right angles. So again, you'll start to see those little squares in the corner. That will be those right angles. Still having these 2 sides being parallel. And then these 2. Okay, parallelogram. Many people talk about this as being a tilted rectangle. So when you talk about these, you still have opposite sides that are equal. So these 2 would be equal, and these 2 would be equal. Again, there's no right angle in this one. So when you're talking about that, you're specifically talking about opposite sides are equal. And then those opposite sides are parallel as well. So these 2 sides are parallel, and these 2 sides are parallel. Okay, rhombus. Some people will talk about this as being a tilted square. So let me see, I'll raise this a little bit to get a better picture for us. So when you're dealing with this, you have 4 sides that are all going to be the same length. So all 4 sides are congruent. So 4 sides are equal. And you do have those opposite sides are being parallel. So those 2 would be parallel. And then these 2. Okay, now some of the other things that they talk about in this section have to do with polygon names. And polygon names are usually named by the number of sides for general names, sometimes by the kinds of angles they have. But these are kind of the basic ones that you're going to see. So triangles are 3-sided. Quadrilateral is 4-sided. Pentagon is 5-sided. Hexagon is 6-sided. Heptagon is 7-sided. Octagon is 8-sided. Nonagon is 9-sided. decagon is 10-sided. Usually anything after that is usually named by the number of sides it has. So if you have a 15-sided figure, once they get past 10, they'll just do 15 again. They'll use those names. Now it's nice to be able to know how many sides things have because you're going to get some specific information about those. Okay, so that'll be our next part.